Victory is ensured, for I am the VCardian. Hi everyone, I'm the VCardian, and today I'm gonna do a meta breakdown of the Weebcon tournament. I'm going off info I received from the champion Jamo, plus my own speculation on the reasoning why. Firstly, I want to mention something really quick about the third set, Divine Chaos. This set was not legal during the tournament. Jamo told me this, and for some reason I was really surprised. It makes sense because the set was super new and everything, but I just don't remember seeing this being said in the rules or anything, but keep that in mind. By now, everyone should know that Jamo won with a Doki feed deck. But other than that, from what I know and have seen, I believe these decks are the most popular for competitive play. Amelie Chain, Cottontail Swap, Porcelain Made Decay, and Ellie Supports. But according to Jamo, there was one deck that was more prevalent than any other. And that was Ellie support-based decks. He also said allies in general were popular, but we'll come back to that. Jamo essentially said it was no contest that Ellie was the most played VTuber. Of course, hearing this, I wondered why. I won't deny that Ellie is extremely strong and versatile. I even put her on the top for fire element cards. But I thought of some possible reasons why. I won't lie, some of my thoughts might be a bit of a hear me out, but just stick with me. The first reason is because of the first set Rising Stars. I'm talking mostly about the classic problem of this game with supply and demand. This affects the first set the most because of the first edition versus limited edition incident. This actually made a weird scenario in which you were allowed to play with the first editions, but also not allowed to play with the first editions. This is mainly due to these two rules, which bans the use of the first edition of Rising Stars, but also allows you to play the first edition if you have at least one limited edition version of the same card outside of your deck for reference. This is overall good, but leads to another unfortunate problem, and that is the popularity difference between buying first edition boxes and limited edition boxes. The reason why should be very well known amongst VCard players. Of course, I'm talking about the one-of-one God Rares. Because of the existence of these cards, and for them only being in the first edition boxes, it makes them way more desirable than the limited edition versions. Additional evidence of this is that you can try looking for any limited edition version of any VCard set on eBay, and you'll see it's virtually impossible. However, for most of the staple supports from Rising Stars, except for most of the Guardians, you could have gotten them from the first starter kit, which I actually did for my deck. Anyways, as I said before, these are the top 5 decks. Going off the hypothesis that people were struggling to get cards from Rising Stars, we can assume why some of these decks were not played as much. First is actually Doki, because she herself is from Rising Stars. Next is Amelie, because besides her, the other two VTubers mostly played in her deck, that being Rainho and Totless, are from Rising Stars. Lastly is Cottontail, because pretty much 100% of the VTubers are from Rising Stars in this deck. That leaves Porcelain Maid and Ellie. While Porcelain Maid is a strong deck, I believe it wasn't as popular because compared to Ellie decks in general are more flexible, faster, and easier to play. Especially because some of the best cards for Ellie decks are from Awakened Worlds, like the Campfire Buff Pup, which is another top tier fire VTuber, or the Platinum Numi and Water Pool Party Droid, which are strong combos with Ellie. There are even some of the most powerful allies in the set, especially for power level gain. So you can make a very effective Ellie deck purely with just cards from Awakened Worlds if you needed to. With all of this in mind, this is why I think Ellie was the most popular deck during the tournament, essentially because of its effectiveness and availability. And that's pretty much it. But before I end the video, I wanted to say something potentially important about the tournament that could help. GamerSupps themselves actually brought a bunch of bulk of all the sets to the tournament. This is good considering the problem with Rising Stars that I have talked about earlier. So if you need some bulk cards to play, there's a chance you can get it there. But of course, it's not guaranteed you'll find what you need. Plus, if all of the tournaments are online registrations and you need some cards but can't find it, you might have to chance it if you really want to play your specific build. But that's just food for thought. Thanks for watching. I'll leave my socials in the description. Please like and subscribe. Let me know what you thought and any suggestions in the comments below. And remember, you're all my heroes, and that the V stands for victory.